Hello there and welcome to another Behind the Composition. If you enjoy watching this video, remember to give it a like and subscribe for more content to come. So let me show you what I found. I've been hiking from way over there and I've been hiking through the forest as well as along the shoreline until I came to this part right here, and I kind of scrambled through this little area and came out to this beautiful area right here. And you can see I've put up the camera there, and the really interesting thing was this piece of rock right here playing with the water right there, as well as this rock, and then just this really beautiful background right here. So just immediately I saw this area here, and when putting on the wide angle lens, this area just worked perfectly together with that background. The only thing that I have working against me is Mr. Sun right here, which is quite high in the sky and way too bright. So it isn't the best light for this, but I have a few tricks up my sleeve and I want to show you what I did. I'm hoping that it isn't too much glare on the screen right here, but what I did is polarize the scene, and I polarized the living beep out of the scene. But as I stated in a previous video, I don't necessarily like to polarize wide angle scenes, and I'm photographing it at 14mm, so it's really wide angle. And let me just demonstrate that. Let me just jump into live view so I can demonstrate it for you. And you can see the issue right here. We're getting a big dark blob in the middle of the sky right there, but still it is such a big improvement compared to a non-polarized sky like this to get the contrast in the clouds. And what I'm also noticing right now is actually that the clouds have changed quite a bit from when I actually photographed them. So I'm gonna take a new set of images and I'm going to show you what I did. So as you can see here, I'm actually gonna go up to ISO 64. I don't need that longer shutter speed. I'm gonna drop the shutter speed down to 45. Let's just see. And here's another tip for you. Even though we have a histogram here on the screen, sometimes that histogram isn't showing exactly what is happening in all the colors. As you can see right here, the brightest part is actually brighter than what this histogram says. So the RGB histogram, when you're reviewing, is actually more accurate. So it's still a good idea to check that, even if you have histogram on the live view screen. Anyway, as you can see, I'm just about fine on the exposure there. So I'm just gonna put it in self-timer mode. I'm gonna grab one with my hand so I know that my session starts there, and then I'm just gonna grab one image and spin polarizer a little bit, grab another image, spin the polarizer a little bit, grab another image, and continue spinning, grabbing, spinning, and grabbing, and spinning, and grabbing. I think it gets a little bit tedious for you right now, and I think you get the idea of what I'm doing. And I'm gonna take one more here, and we're just about done with the polarization. And then I'm just gonna grab one where there basically is no polarization right there. And that is that done. And if we review the images, you can see we're getting different amount of polarization. And what I'm going to do with that is, first and foremost, have the ability to choose in post where I think the sky is looking the best, but also try to blend and even out the amount of polarization throughout the sky. As you can see, this frame right here, it's so obvious that the polarization is hitting hardest in the middle there. But if we have one that's polarized on this side and then compare it to one that's polarized on the other side, those two could blend together and create a more even polarization across the whole sky, even though it's not going to be the same dramatic amount of polarization that we have at the peak there in the middle. The only thing that could be a little bit difficult is that the clouds are moving, but I think it's going to work out all right. And what I've also done is that I've taken there you can see my old images. Here, I've taken a long exposure with a 10 stop and a polarizer on it, and that is mostly in order to get away or get rid of a little bit of the sheen that was on these rocks and get a bit more of a yellow light on that, as you can see, compared between these two frames. Yeah, as you can see there. But you can see we're getting a bit of vignetting in it, so I have one frame without there, and I have one with the 10 stop and one with just a polarizer. So I'll be able to blend everything together in post. So there you have it. That is the composition, the scene, and the way that I framed it up. And what this demonstrates is not perhaps the best way to get the best ideal image, but a good way to try to work with the conditions that you have in order to get something out of a situation that you find yourself in when the light is less than ideal. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, remember to like it, subscribe in order to stay tuned for more, and check out my other videos, especially my adventure videos. Also check out my first impressions of this, the Z7 Mark II. I'm really enjoying this new camera system. I've upgraded from the D600. Yeah, check out my videos on that if you want to know more about that. Also, this is the 14-30mm f4S set mount. Yeah, anyway, I don't want to keep you any longer. So, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all soon again. Until next time, goodbye.